In today's video, I want to share with you my Goth makeup essentials. Hello spooky bats and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Orphea and I'm a Goth YouTuber from Belgium. In today's video, I want to talk about makeup. I'm not going to do any makeup tutorials today, however, I'm going to share with you 5 of my favorite makeup items that I think are essential to anyone's makeup kit, whether you are alternative or not, but specifically if you want to do more extreme looks as I do, I would highly advise these to you. Because it was very difficult for me to narrow it down to 5 things, I actually clustered a few things together to end up with 5 in total, which I hope you can forgive me for. But the first thing that I want to share with you are waterproof things. So waterproof versions of regular products because they simply last better. I use a waterproof kohl pencil. This one is vegan, cruelty-free, and it is by Kruidvat. This is a regular black eyeliner pencil. It is very easy to use. It is very soft and creamy, and it stays on your waterline. The second one is the NYX Epic Wear eyeliner. This one is waterproof as well. It is amazing. It's the eyeliner that I use every single time I do my makeup, and it has a brush tip applicator. And finally, waterproof mascaras, because they simply last longer, and also because I do wear contact lenses. Whenever I get lens fluid in my eyes or whenever my eyes tear up for some reason, I like to have waterproof mascara, because even though I like the look when it is streaky and everything, I like it to be intentional and not simply because my mascara isn't waterproof. And this mascara is simply a cheap mascara. I use Essence, I use Catrice, and I just recently started using the Kruidvat house brand waterproof mascara as well. I think it's really nice. I haven't used it a lot yet, so I can't give you an in-depth review on it. But for me, mascara is more about just enhancing my lashes than actually like curling them and making them bigger, etc. because they are rather long on their own as well. The second thing that I would highly recommend is looking into very pigmented eyeshadows and going away from the standard brands that you can find in regular stores. This is the eye palette that I use, and this has a combination of products by Notoriously Morbid, my absolute favorite indie makeup brand, and another brand that is called I Am Clean. They are a Belgian brand and they have more neutral colors. So these more neutral shades here at the top are from I Am Clean. This is what I use for my daily makeup, and then all of the other shades in here are by Notoriously Morbid. This is actually my highlighter. And by actually going for super pigmented eyeshadows, it will be a lot easier to work with them. I recommend using pressed eyeshadows if you're a beginner, and then going, if you can, if you want to, you don't have to, of course, to loose eyeshadows because there's a lot more variety to find. However, I prefer using this palette with all of my shades in it because it's a simple one and go-to step. So I just use single pans that I put into this magnetic palette by Notoriously Morbid. If you want to order Notoriously Morbid's makeup, this video is in no way, shape or form sponsored by the way, then you can use code Orphea15 to get a 15% discount on your entire order. For eyeshadows, I would recommend starting with a few colors. I always use a base color, which is a nude color, and then I use red and black. And depending on what colors you want to wear, I would recommend going for at least a nude shade, a black shade, a white shade maybe even, and then of course a few colors if you want to play around with them. The next suggestion isn't actually on my list, but is a must-have for me nonetheless, regardless whether I do Goth makeup or not, and it is an eyelid primer. Why do you use an eyelid primer? To make sure that your eyeshadow stays in place and doesn't crease. So I personally use the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I get a travel size most of the time. This lasts me about half a year to a year, depending how much I do my makeup. If I do it daily, it lasts me about half a year more or less. I think it is well worth the money, but you can find, of course, other eyelid primers from other brands that also work very well. The thing is, I use this and then I apply a nude eyeshadow on top of it, and then I start applying the other makeup products. This will just ensure that everything lasts a lot longer, and I actually didn't notice until a few years ago when I started using a primer, and it made the biggest difference in my makeup application. The next must-haves are good makeup brushes. I don't mean expensive makeup brushes, I mean quality makeup brushes. There are a few brands that I personally have a lot of brushes by. One of them is called Real Techniques. They are on the more expensive side. However, they have a eye kit, if I'm not mistaken. It's a small pouch in which you have several brushes, and I actually use that for the longest time, and I actually really love it. If you live here in Belgium, then the D stores actually have their in-house brand, which is called Park Avenue, if I'm not mistaken, and they are these types of brushes. You also have them with non-wooden handles, but then they are colored, and I simply don't like colors. So if you see them, these are by Park Avenue, and I believe it's the in-house brand of D makeup stores. And what I also recommend with your brushes is that you clean them regularly so that you keep them in pristine condition. I keep mine in this very big round thing, and I separate my used brushes from my clean brushes. So these are all my clean brushes, and then I have another cup holder that has all of my dirty brushes. Now, I think when you start doing makeup, it's good to experiment with different sizes brushes. I personally use these fluffier, thicker ones to apply a base on my eyelids, and then I use these smaller ones to blend everything out. This is actually a blending brush, and now it's on the floor. And then I also have a bunch of really fine detail brushes, which I like to use to go underneath my eyes, make lines, etc. For my face, I use a very big fluffy brush to powder it off with some setting powder. I use, of course, a contour brush to apply the contour. And I actually start preferring using more of these types of brushes because you can really make a line with this to do your contour. Ever since I shaved the side of my head, I prefer using this because the contour is a lot sharper, but you can use any contour brush you like. And then for highlighter, I actually prefer using a fan brush because it distributes it very nicely, and also because my highlighter is very intense and otherwise I just go overboard very quickly. But what I would recommend is looking for a brush kit by a decent brand such as Real Techniques, Park Avenue, sometimes the in-house brands of online makeup stores such as Sephora, etc. have very good ones as well. Mine are, I believe, all synthetic brushes. I personally don't think I own any brushes that aren't synthetic, and I can do anything with them. So it's just about practicing and using the things that you like. And also, if you have a good brush set, it's an investment you make once and then you get to use them for years upon years upon years if you take good care of them. Now, I personally wash my brushes with the Real Techniques brush soap. I have a very big bottle of it. It comes in a rather big bottle, and one bottle lasts me more than a year. And I do wash my makeup brushes and my beauty blender sponges every 2 weeks, more or less. So every time I've done a lot of makeup looks, that's when I wash my brushes. Even if it's just daily makeup, it's better to wash your brushes to get rid of any germs, bacteria, whatever could be in it, than to spread it on your skin, especially around your eyes. My second to last product is a contour powder. And why do I mention contour powders in this video? Because for me, it was very hard to find a cool toned contour powder. I was able to find bronzers all you want, but I don't want to warm up my face. I don't like the way it looks. So I was on the hunt for a cool tone contour powder. Now, you do have taupe-based eyeshadows that you could use for this. However, Notoriously Morbid has, in my opinion, the very best contour. This one is called Necromancy, and it's the one ever since I bought it. I have tried a few others, didn't like them as much, so I always purchase the biggest version they have, and I absolutely love it. Now, do note this is fairly pigmented, so when you apply it, make sure that you apply the most product where you want to be the darkest and then blend it out. And if you use too much, just go over it with some setting powder and just blend it out a little bit. And then lastly on my list are liquid lipsticks. Now, why do I use liquid lipsticks and not regular lipsticks? First of all, regular lipsticks are very sticky, and I don't like having a sticky feeling on my lips. I also don't use glosses. I don't use lip balms that stay very sticky. I like using like general lip balm sticks, labello sticks they're called here, that I prefer using, and they actually get absorbed by the skin rather quickly. And I now want to share my favorite colors and also my favorite brands, hence why there now is a fourth one, because I forgot to pick it up at first. I'm going to go through my favorite brands and shades because it's just easier. Now, I have a nude shade. It is kind of on the It's not pink, it's not beige, it's not gray, it's kind of in between. It's this grayish, like they call it, color, and I absolutely love this one. I love the formula. This one is by NYX. It's the NYX Lingerie, and the color that I prefer to use is Unhooked. This is actually the shade that I wear most of the time whenever I do makeup for the office, etc. It's like a nude, but still a kind of spooky color, and I have worn this a few times with Goth makeup looks as well, and it looks amazing. So the shades that I personally would recommend you get are a nude shade, black and red. But that's of course because my shades are black and red. And then I want to share my two favorite red lipsticks. One of them is by Notoriously Morbid, the other one is by Essence, surprisingly. The one by Notoriously Morbid is no longer available, hence why I found a dupe for it. This one is called Stay Evil Dollface, and it's actually the red that I'm wearing right now. It's a very nice, deep, rich red, without being orange, without being actually brown. It's just a very nice red. And then I actually found recently that Essence has liquid lipsticks as well, and I know we haven't been able to swatch it in store, so I looked up a lot of reviews and a lot of swatches online, and I found this one. Now this shade is called Bite Me If You Can, and it's an almost exact dupe for Stay Evil Dollface by Notoriously Morbid. If you live in Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, France, and you have stores that sell Essence cosmetics, I would highly recommend checking it out, because honestly it blew my mind how good the formula actually is. And then finally, my favorite black liquid lipstick. This one is Ruin by Notoriously Morbid, and hands down, no other black lipstick is as good as this one. I haven't found a dupe anywhere that is decent, so it's just gonna be Ruin from Notoriously Morbid on this list. However, if you have other liquid lipsticks that are black, that are matte, that stay on all day without moving anywhere, let me know. And they have to be vegan and cruelty-free, of course. So these are my makeup must-haves, my Goth makeup essentials that I have with me almost every time. Now you will notice that I didn't mention any foundation products, and the main reason is because I have rather pale skin. Well, some people would argue with that. Some people will tell me that I'm not super pale, some people will tell me I'm pale as a ghost. Foundation is a very tricky one. It's not because I like a foundation that it actually works with your skin, because I have mixed skin. I don't have dry skin, I don't have greasy or oily skin either, so I'm just in between everything. My skin is normal, so I can use pretty much anything. But some of you have sensitive skin, some of you might have oily skin, so I cannot recommend a foundation that could work for anyone. The same goes with concealer. And I also know that a lot of brands are not very inclusive when it comes to skin tones, which is a really big shame, because I wish there was a bigger variety of shades available than some brands have. And I'm very lucky that most of the time the palest shades of a range of makeup products are actually pale enough for me, but I know that for some people that isn't the case, and especially the other way around. In the more darker skin tones there is a lot less product available and a lot less variety available, which is a very big shame. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it gave you some tips and tricks to makeup essentials that you maybe don't have yet. If you have any other recommendations or suggestions, feel free to let me know in a comment down below. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them there. If you haven't already and you'd like to be, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every Friday and I would love to have you for every single one of them. If you enjoyed this video, of course, you can give it a big thumbs up. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week with a new video. Bye!